There are several things that have to go into writing and publishing a great book. But tonight we're going to focus on three things. So we're going to start with the mistakes, and then we're going to talk about what to do instead. We are going to be discussing some really, really great key points. So I want you to come in. I have some really great information for you all this evening, and I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. So three mistakes that most people make when they are writing and publishing their book. That's the main topic for tonight. So how many people have had an idea to write a book, or maybe you're even writing a book already, and you know that you're going to eventually end up publishing, or you've already completed your manuscript and you believe that you are ready to publish this book. Comment if that is you. If you want to write a book, if you're in the process of writing a book, or if you've already finished your manuscript and you're about to publish. Tell me where you are on your writing and publishing journey. But a lot of people, when you are first writing your book, a lot of people just want to write it. They want to write the book, they want to publish it, and then that's it. But you can no longer do that. You can no longer just write a book and publish it and then just leave it to chance, basically, for people to purchase your book, for them to be able to find your book. Alrighty, so the top three mistakes that people make when they are writing and publishing their book, we're going to start with the very first one. First mistake is not viewing your reader as a potential client or customer. Not viewing your reader as a potential client or customer. So what do I mean by that? It's a big mistake when you just write a book and you don't consider your reader becoming a client or customer of yours. Maybe they read your book and they want more information. They want to talk to you about the book. They want more insight. Maybe they want some sort of workbook to go along with it. Maybe they want a course or to meet with you for a VIP day. Maybe they do want to attend a virtual summit that you're doing that's based off of your book. So when you go into writing and publishing your book and you only go into it with the idea, I want someone to read the book, you are not just leaving money on the table, but you are leaving the opportunity to transform someone's life in addition to the reading of your book. So definitely think about your reader as a potential client. When you are writing, there are several strategies that we use to help the reader go along on the journey of reading the book. So the words are flowing, everything is moving nicely. Your storytelling is crafted into your writing, all within the manuscript. You're expressing and sharing your expertise, your skills. All of those things are going into the reading piece. But now also crafted in, which are a couple of strategies that we use, are things that are going to take the reader from your book, off your book's pages, to a website or to the next step of whatever it is that you're offering afterwards. So it takes some thought. It actually takes an overall vision of your book to see where you want to go after the book is published. So instead of just thinking of your reader as a reader, you're going to think of your reader as a potential client or customer, and you are going to write your book accordingly. You're going to incorporate some of the strategies that get them from just being a reader, maybe to your website. Give them a call to action, a CTA, as you know, the industry calls it. Give them a call to action that gets them off of your book's pages and onto the next step of whatever it is you're offering. The second mistake, the second mistake that most people make when they're writing and publishing their books, that mistake is only sharing your story. So the second mistake that most people make when they're writing and publishing their books is to only share their story. Now, sharing your story is amazing. It is an excellent way to connect with your reader. Okay. So you want to add in the storytelling piece, not just telling anecdotal stories and tales and things to get the reader to understand, but you're going to want to incorporate your story. I believe that everyone has a fingerprint story. So I usually have people who are listening to me when I'm doing presentations to hold up the palms of their hands and then just face the palms of their hands towards themselves. Look at the tips of your fingers. If you were to do that right now, just look at the tips of your fingers, and on the tips of your fingers are your fingerprints. Now, your fingerprints are unique to you. They distinguish you from every other person in the world, as far as the information that we have right now. They are unique to you. Your fingerprint story is exactly the same. It's unique to you. No one else has your exact experiences. And if they have experienced some of the same things in your life, they don't have your exact perspective, the revelation that you received from God about what happened, how to incorporate some of those lessons that you've learned into your life. They don't have all of that. Only you have that information. So when you share your story in that manner, you are able to connect with your reader. You're able to speak to their hearts and their minds. You're able to get closer to them than most people can in just like a regular conversation, because you're sharing most often something that's near and dear to you, something that's intimate. It doesn't have to be full details and things like that. But when you share parts of your story, you're sharing parts of you. So when you share yourself, you're giving. And when your readers receive what you're giving, then it makes a connection. It connects them, it draws them in, it gives them an opportunity to get to know a little bit more about you. And storytelling is the way to do that. However, when you only share your story, that's when you lose an opportunity to bring about a full transformation in your reader. Now, the people that I work with, they're not just writing books to just say what happened to them, just talk about their stories. They really want to transform people's lives, and the stories that they have and the challenges that they've overcome in their lives. They've been able to take lessons that they've learned in life through their experiences, trials, tribulations, good times and bad times, and they've been able to come up with a way that their reader will be able to use that information. So you can't just share your story if you want true transformation in your reader. If you want your reader to experience transformation, you're going to have to take what you went through, find a way that your reader can use it, implement it in their lives, whether it's on the job, in their family, within their own mindset. Find a way for them to implement those lessons, and then you'll see actual change. You'll see transformation, and you'll hear the stories that they're telling. You'll get the testimonials, you'll get emails, DMs, all kinds of stuff on how you impacted their lives by sharing your story and then telling them what they can do in their lives to reap some of the same benefits that you've already begun to enjoy. The third mistake, let's go into the third mistake because I don't want to keep you long. The third mistake that most people make when they're publishing their writing and publishing their books is publishing your book is the end goal, okay? So the third mistake that most people make when they're writing and publishing their books is believing that publishing their book is the end goal. Now, I've had several clients to say, okay, I want to give you this manuscript and I just want to be done with it. That is the farthest thing from the truth of what needs to happen when you write and publish your book. Writing and publishing it is actually just the beginning. There is still a long list of doable things that you have to do if you want the book to be successful. And when I say successful, I'm not talking about bestseller or anything like that, even though hidden bestseller is really easy. successful to me means that you're getting your book out there. It's getting into the hands of the people that need to be reading it. It's getting to the people who want the transformation. They want change in their life. So they are getting that information and implementation out of your book. That's success. That's a successfully published book, a book that is professionally done, is polished, whether you self-publish on your own or whether you use indie publishers, big name publishers, you get the book out there and then your book is getting into the hands of the people that need it and it's helping people. So publishing it is not the end game. Where do you want your people to go after they read the book? Okay, so they had the book, they read the whole thing. Now what? Now, what do you want them to do? Like I said, for the first mistake, are you getting them to the next point? Is there something within the book that's like a CTA, a call to action for them to do after they finish reading a portion of the book, after they finish reading the entire book? Where do you want them to go? What do you want them to do after they read it? Now, this is specific. Well, I'm speaking specifically to nonfiction, but it does apply to fiction. It applies to children's books. My children, my husband, Anthony's, and my children, J. Fam Johnson, wrote several books. They're best-selling authors. And in each one of their books, we always lead the reader to another place online where they can get supplemental materials. They can reach out to J. Fam Johnson. They can get more books. They're the first ones to know about new stuff coming out. So you want to have something in there, even if it's a children's book. So J. Fam Johnson wrote a children's book. The first book was Hip Hop Hair. The second book was The Flow Journal. It's a young woman's guide to her monthly flow and how she can kind of keep record, feel good about herself, maintain a positive attitude about her growth and development. So even in that book, a journal style book, there's information on what to do next, how to reach out, where you can go for more information. So you need to incorporate that into whatever book you have. It's a fiction book. You need to do the same thing. Maybe there'll be a link in the book where they can click on it and it's going to take them to a map of this fictional world that's in your book. Or maybe it's going to take them to a character study or a photo of one of the characters. I don't know what a fictional reader would like from you, but you would know because hopefully you've done the research and you know what your reader's like. So those are some key points. I'm telling you, these are nuggets that you should pay attention to if you want to write and publish your book. So the 3 mistakes, we went over those. The first one is not seeing your reader as a potential client or customer. What you can do instead is view your reader as a potential client or customer and allow them the opportunity to learn about other things that you're doing. Get them out of the book, off of the pages of your book, and over to your website by giving them a call to action, maybe clicking on a link and it'll give them some supplemental materials or reaching out to you or connecting with you in some way. The second mistake is only sharing your story. Your story is extremely important, but instead of just sharing your story, you are going to want to implement some of the storytelling ideas where you talk about you talk about what your story, what you've learned from your story, your experiences, your expertise. You're going to give them a way to implement some of those lessons into their lives so that you can see true transformation. And then the third mistake is believing that publishing your book is the end goal. Publishing your book is not the end goal. You have so much more that you can add to the literary work that you're doing when you write and publish your book. You want to get them, like I said in that with that first mistake, you want to get them off of your pages, get them out of your book, and then to your next step. That could be your website, a VIP day, an e-course. It could be a free training. It could be a meetup or something like that. So you want to definitely make a true connection, bring about true transformation, by doing these things. So I don't want to keep you long. Like I said, we went over 3 big ones. These are 3 big mistakes that people make. We went over what to do instead. You have more than enough information to start thinking about how to implement these things into your writing and publishing. Before I go, I do want to mention the summit. We are going to be going over a lot of this information. We are going to be writing your books right on the spot. We're going to be talking about these very things so that you will have more than enough information to move forward with your publishing. If you already have a book published, we're going to be helping you to identify some of the things that you need to be doing right now in this time and season to get your book out there more, to get funding for your book, to get people to pay you to give them their your book, and to bring you on board for speaking engagements, for other opportunities where you would come in and speak to groups of people. So all of that is going to be included in what we're doing with the virtual summit. So I'm going to leave the link in the comments, but definitely go to the page, check it out. We're going to be going over some of the mindset that you will need to take on this year so that you can, start getting your book out there. Some of the people that I've worked with, they've been pushing their books. They're bringing in thousands of dollars in pre-sales before they even finish their book. They're getting sponsorships from national organizations. They're getting celebrity endorsements. Many of you know J. Fam Johnson got an endorsement from a hip hop artist. We were really excited about that. So it is still possible, even though there's all this talk about downturns and recessions and all this stuff. God is still in the blessing business, people, and business is good, okay? So think abundantly about the work that God has for you. Everything that your hands touch, may it be the will of God for it to prosper. May the seeds that you planted reap an amazing harvest for you and glorify God. So these are some of the mindset things that we're going to be talking about. These are some of the thoughts that we're going to go over that you need to focus on, especially in this time. It's enough people with the doom and gloom thought. It's enough people out there with that. Let us be the light. Let us be the light that shines in the darkness and makes it scurry away. All right, so go over to the website. I'm going to put the link in the comments for you. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. Remember, rise and shine.